Hi everybody, welcome back to Valuteer. In this video we're going to quickly run through how to create a weekly opportunity. In this case we're going to use a Thursday bingo event as our example. So the first thing we want to do is log into Valuteer and then click on the opportunities link on the left hand side here, and then we're going to click the add new opportunity button up in the top right hand corner. So first thing we're going to do, give this some of our basic information as we always do, including a title, set a coordinator, give our location, and then add a description. So we can quickly do that. We're going to use John demo user as our coordinator again. We're going to use our location as not our main office in this instance. We're going to add a new location, and we're going to call this the South Side Bingo Hall. We're going to give it an address, and then we're going to give it a city. And in this case, we're going to show off the Google address service that we use. Again, if you haven't seen this, this allows you to keep your data clean and avoid misspellings and that kind of thing. So we just type in Calgary and choose Calgary, and it fills in our province and state, or our province state field for us, as well as the country field. And if we click Save Location, we can now choose Southside Bingo Hall as our location. Alright, and then we'll just add a description here so our applicants know what they're getting into. And then we want to set our start date. So because this is May bingos on Thursdays, we want to set May 1st as our start date, and we're going to leave the end date blank for a moment here. The reason we're going to leave the end date blank is because we only want a few shifts here. We don't want to fill up the entire month full of shifts. And if we leave the end date blank, we know that we're going to only create 6 shifts, and since there's only 5 Thursdays in May, this works out pretty good for us in this case. We're going to leave the published date blank as well for a moment here until we get everything set up the way we want it to. So the next thing we want to take a look at here is the number of people required that we're going to need for these opportunities. We're going to set this to 10 for an example. And the reason we want to set this to 10 is because this is the total number of people we can approve, and then once approved, those people will divvy up the 5 shifts that we need covered here. So we know that not everybody's going to be able to make all 5 shifts, and so we want to have more than the people required for each shift. The second thing we want to have here is set our wait list size, and we want to set that to 5 because we know that some people, even though they're approved, won't be able to make their shift or won't be able to follow up on their commitment, which is fine, but we want to be able to have some leeway here to assign people that can fill in for them. The next thing we want to take a look at is our shift start time, and in this case we're going to set the shift start time to 4 o'clock, and then because we know our bingo shifts are from 4 to 8, let's say. The next is we need our number of shifts per day, and we're going to only have 1, and we're going to assign 3 people to it. So because our bingo commitment is from 4 to 8 p.m., we're going to say that each shift is 4 hours long, and we want to have 3 people per shift. So we've got our first shift starting at 4, we know it's going to go till 8, we know we've got 1 shift per day, and we've got 3 people per shift. The last thing we want to do is make sure that our opportunity type is set to public so that this shows up on our opportunity listings page. And since we don't have any other required documents or workflow tied to this opportunity, we're going to leave the requires approval checkbox unchecked. And with that, let's click Save Opportunity and take a look again at our opportunities page. Okay, so now we're back on the opportunities page here, and we've got our Thursday bingo event. So we're going to need to edit this for a number of reasons. First being to correct our spelling mistake, and the second is so that we can move the shifts that we created to the days that we actually want them on. So if we click the link, that opens up the opportunity details page for us. We can correct our spelling mistake and scroll down to the shifts calendar. And what we can see is that because we had our start date on May 1st and no end date, we've got 6 shifts created for us. But again, not on the days we want, because we're going to have Thursday bingos, not just bingos on the first week in May. So if we go up to our calendar buttons here, we can go into May, and then we can simply just start to drag our shifts to the appropriate days that we want them on. And in this case, we're just going to move all these shifts to Thursdays. Now in this case, we have all our Thursdays covered, but we have an extra shift. So if we simply click on the extra shift, click delete shift, and then again go back into May, we can see we have no superfluous shifts on days we don't want, and all our Thursdays are covered. If we mouse over any of these shifts, we can see that we've got our 3 total required people per shift, and right now, because nobody's applied, we've got 0 assigned. If we click on the shift to edit it, we can see that we've got our start and end dates set correctly, and we're good to go. So again, before we publish this, we're going to want to review all the information, look for any spelling mistakes, make sure we got the correct coordinator, the correct location, and if everything looks good, then we can set our publish date to today. And now we save this, and if we look at our online listings page, we can see our Thursday bingo in May has been updated online and is now open for registration. So that's all we've got for this video, folks. If you have any questions or concerns about this, again, please don't hesitate to contact us through the user menu in Valuteer and click on the help button. Thanks, folks. We'll see you in the next video.